A video by Breyers Canine Academy.
Welcome to Breyers Canine Academy, where we tally up all the ways to turn your dream dog into reality. I'm Luke Schneider, and in today's video, we're going to be teaching you how to properly walk your dog so that walks become calm, enjoyable experiences, as well as a great way to exercise your dog, instead of them being something that's stressful, chaotic, or something that you just dread doing. Now, here's the vision most people want when it comes to dog walking. It's that they want a dog that walks nicely beside them, is allowed to sniff at appropriate times, comes back beside them when called, greets people politely, stays calm around other dogs, and then continues walking alongside you when you want them to. That's the goal, and at Breyers Canine Academy, it's our goal for you as well. Now, in order to get there, we have to be very intentional about how we train dogs for walking. When walking isn't trained correctly, it can quickly turn into a disaster, and there are a lot of behaviors that we don't want your dog to do while on leash. These include zigzagging in multiple directions, pulling towards people or other dogs, barking or acting out from pure excitement of being on a walk, and we also don't want constant sniffing that drags you from smell to smell, effectively allowing your dog to walk you instead of the other way around. These behaviors don't mean your dog is bad. They're learned behaviors that up until now, your dog has probably gotten away with. Now, why do these behaviors happen? Well, early on, many dogs are allowed to sniff freely, greet people when they want, and say hello to other dogs when you take them out on walks. At first, this feels easy and pleasant because the dog isn't overstimulated yet and hasn't begun testing its boundaries. Everything is brand new. However, over time, the dog will begin to anticipate these various experiences. We call this an anticipated state of being. The dog starts expecting smells, greetings, and excitement every time the leash comes out. So now, when the leash appears, boom, you have an overexcited and impulsive dog before you even begin the walk. And the root issue is that the dog has practiced behaviors now that are disconnected from what you, the owner, wants. So what is the solution? Well, the solution is the correct order of things. To fix this, we must first teach the dog one clear expectation, and that is that when we go on a walk, your job is to follow me. Once following becomes the dog's default mindset, then we can selectively allow sniffing with a release command, as well as greeting people, occasionally with permission. These things should happen some of the time, but not all of the time. In Breyers Canine Academy, it's generally not recommended to let your dogs greet other dogs while on walks. This is done for safety reasons and to prevent leash reactivity. The preference at Breyers Canine Academy is that dogs greet other dogs in structured environments, for their safety and for yours. Now, before the walk begins, you need to line your dog next to the heel prop. Call your dog into the heel position using the prop as the base, and put on all the training equipment that you're going to need. It includes the leash, the training collar, and, if applicable, the e-collar. Now, make sure that when you start your walk that you've got treats with you. And then at this point, you're going to reinforce the heel command as you walk to the front door. Now, before we even get to the walk, we need to talk about front door control because this is very important. When opening the door, you need to back up slightly. If your dog backs up with you, reward them. Do not go outside under any circumstance until your dog can do this calmly. This teaches your dog that an open door does not mean excitement, let me run right out of it. It means following you. Now, once you're outside with your dog, keep your dog in the heel position and begin this specific progression. Take 4 steps with your dog in the heel command, stop, and reward if the dog is in heel. Then go 8 steps, stop, reward. 12 steps, stop, reward. 16 steps, stop, reward. Then 20 steps, stop, reward. This builds duration and focus. And after 20 steps, you may tell your dog free and allow a moment of brief sniffing. After they're done sniffing, call them back into heel and continue with your walk and your exercises. Now next, we're going to teach your dog speed changes so that your dog learns to move with you in public environments. You're going to take 10 steps at a normal pace, then you're going to take 10 steps at a slower and or quicker pace, and if your dog is in the heel position after those, you'll stop and reward. This prepares your dog for real-world situations, like crossing streets or navigating obstacles in crowded places. Now, as your dog improves, you're going to increase your steps to 50 steps before stopping. Add heel movement drills at stops to keep the engagement high, such as left turns, right turns, or side steps, and gradually work up walking to about 6, maybe 7 houses before stopping. And remember, always increase the distance and duration of these exercises gradually. Now, as your dog's walking behavior improves, your expectations must also increase. We're going to look at 3 levels. The first level is the learning phase. Early on, your dog may need leash pressure or stimulation if they make mistakes, and they are going to make mistakes. But that's okay. They can still get rewards at this stage, as the goal is simply learning and clarity for the dog. At level 2, though, this is the improvement phase. As your dog begins to understand the walk, you can correct behavior if needed, and you can also immediately free the dog without giving them a reward. Then you can restart the exercise and try again. And at level 3, this is the performance phase. At this level, the expectation is very clear. To stay on the walk, the dog must avoid corrections. If a correction is needed, you correct the dog, calmly turn around, and return home. No emotion, no frustration on your part, just a clear consequence for the dog that if they need a correction, then the walk is going to end. Now, why does this work? Well, this does teach your dog that calm, focused behavior will keep the walk going, and that any disconnected behavior will end the walk. And over time, the environment of the walk itself will become the reward for the dog, and that includes all the greeting and all the sniffing. Now, for important guidance, we highly recommend working with a trainer while practicing these walking exercises. Walks are unpredictable environments, and proper guidance helps you navigate distractions safely and effectively. Now, as you return home, your dog must remain in the heel position until you are completely back inside your home. This prevents anticipation and rushing as you walk up to the door and the walk overall ends. Now, to close everything off, when done correctly, walking becomes a very structured, calm, and enjoyable aspect for both you and your dog. Take your time, follow the structure set, focus on clarity and consistency, and you and your dog are going to have many wonderful walks ahead of you both. As always, I'm Luke Schneider with Breyers Canine Academy, and I will see you on the next one.
This has been a Breyers Canine Academy training video. Thank you for watching.